So neopronouns are any set of pronouns that aren't officially recognized in the language that you use. Someone might use neopronouns because officially recognized pronouns might give them dysphoria, or using neos could give someone gender euphoria. I use them because they give me euphoria, because I really enjoy confusing people with my gender identity, which sounds kind of weird, but it gives me euphoria, so whatever. I really like using they, them, and they, fair in conversation, like when I'm talking, and I really like using bun, bun, self, like if I'm texting someone, or I guess just on the internet. That's the way I like using them. So an example of they, fair pronouns could be, I really like fair jacket today. It's their favorite color. They like the color purple.
What the hell did you just say?
I use them because they give me euphoria, because I really enjoy confusing people with my gender identity.
Okay. Cuckoo.
So that purple-haired young lady we just heard from in the first clip freely admitted that she likes to start her interactions out with other people negatively by trying to confuse them as to who or what she really is. Who does that? Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and very crazy clown world update for you guys today. And as usual, we have, well, very little time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. So here we have a dating app profile that has a couple of false advertisements in it. We have this fellow who calls himself Vera and claims to be a lesbian. He also claims that he's only 24 years old. All right, let's keep it moving with this ridiculous take from Trump-deranged actor John Leguizamo at the Emmys, I think. Now, he says that better movies will be made if Carmelo Harris wins the election in November. Roll it.
I think if Kamala's elected, it's a party, man. Productions will go crazy. They'll greenlight everything. Everything will get a sequel, you know. But if it goes the other way, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be mad depressing. But I think we still.
Does it affect what kind of projects are green?
Absolutely. I think a depressed country needs them to look for more humor, more satire. You know, it's harder to deal with depressing stuff. But if Kamala wins, we can get depressing movies. That's the stuff I like. Really sad shit.
You like the sad shit?
I love that stuff.
That sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
These people are so disingenuous. John Leguizamo has to know that Hollywood and all of these other movie companies adopted this whole diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda, which destroys everything it touches, including movies. And speaking of disingenuous, this lady thinks that Trump supporters are afraid of feminine hygiene products. No, ma'am. They just don't want politicians using taxpayer dollars to put them in men's restrooms like Governor Tampon Tim Walz from Minnesota. Roll it.
Honestly, why are you guys so afraid of women's sanitary products? Like, so it's okay, right? Like, oh my goodness. Is that nice and soft? Tampons? Ah! Ah!
She's fit for a straitjacket. This broad's 3 ways towards the weekend.
And continuing on with disingenuous people, this lovely lady claims that we are seeing extreme behaviors of hate coming from Trump supporters. Even though Trump has had 2 attempts on his life recently, she fails to mention that. Roll it.
You know what MAGA hates the most about us? Our joy. We are the party of fun. We are the party of love, compassion, empathy. We're the party that knows how to bring up the underdog. We know how to help each other out. We know how to raise and support our middle class. They freaking hate that about us. Have you ever been to a party and there's that one person in the room that's just the light, the person that's having fun, the person that's dancing and joyful, There will always be that group on the other side. Oh my God, look at her, look at him, blah, 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 and try to take away that person's light. That's exactly what they are trying to do right now. They are trying to take our momentum of joy away from us. It is no coincidence that right now we are seeing extreme behaviors of hate. I mean, the former president, I hate Taylor Swift. A sheriff calling immigrants maggots. No, what did he say? He said they were cockroaches. Okay? Then you have Lowry, whatever, saying the N-word on CNN. What? It's all to steal our joy and make us angry.
She's got the crazy eyes. Dude, the eyes, they're crazy.
And besides being disingenuous, these people have zero self-awareness, as you'll see in 1 second. So this fella is doing a man on the street interview where he's asking people, what is something weird about conservatives? And there's no way for me to prepare you guys for what you're about to see. Roll it.
There's something weird about conservatives.
There is almost a cultish vibe, I feel. The way they operate within themselves, they refuse to listen to outside people, they're refusing to learn, essentially. I think that is a large part of it.
What the was that?
Yeah, so keep that in mind. It's conservatives and Trump supporters and people on the right who are in a cult. Roll it.
How do you identify?
I identify as non-binary.
When did you sort of come to this realization yourself?
Look, it goes back a long time. I think I've always been very feminine, even though biologically I'm male. My whole life, I've always been called a girl. And then the moment I was like, you know what? You're dead right. Suddenly everyone had an issue with it. Suddenly it was like, no, you're a man. I'd get picked on and bullied a lot for being feminine, wearing nail polish. And I just found that I really liked myself the more feminine I dressed and the more feminine I looked.
Stop being a girly man.
So that fellow we just heard from said he enjoys looking and feeling feminine. But he had a mustache that even Magnum PI would be jealous of. Anyway, next up, so here we have a modern-day lesbian couple. So these are both biological men that identify as trans women and call themselves lesbians. So in a normal world, it would just be a gay couple. But since we live in backwards, upside-down, bizarro world, it is a lesbian couple. Roll it.
Sometimes people can't take compliments in the singular form, so it's best to overload them in one time. Love, you're cute.
No.
Okay, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're a delight, you're wonderful to be around, you're the love of my life, you're a delight. I think I repeated that one, but it's very true. I love you, cutie.
You guys look like... What do they look like, Jimmy?
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
Hey guys, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen now. It looks like she took the advice of whoever said, dance like nobody's watching. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by our great friend, Pastor Bob Rogers. Pastor Bob, thank you so much, sir, for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate the support. And I want to give a shout out to today's honorable mention, Michael, for leaving a super thanks on the last video. So, Michael, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So once again, today's video sponsor is Pastor Bob Rogers, with the honorable mention going to Michael. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, I think we've seen enough dancing. Get this off the screen, please. Oof.
You've been doing a bit of boozing, have you? Sucking back on Grandpa's old cough medicine?
All right, guys, let's jump over to CNN and listen to the human Q-tip, Eli Mistal, talk about banning AR-14s. Roll it.
Personally, I do not feel comfortable having yet another conversation about the horrible gun violence in this country without talking about the guns, because I agree with Tim. I want this political violence to stop. And to me, I would propose a solution to this. I call it the Protect Trump at all costs assault weapons ban. If we want to protect our political leaders, if we want to protect people who don't have an elite fighting force protecting them 24/7, one of the best things we can do, not just for Trump, but for all potential victims of gun violence, is to ban assault weapons, to ban the AR-14, and to ban the weapons of terror that these crazy people use to menace not just our leaders, but everybody else in the country.
What did you say? What the f did you just say?
One of the best things we can do, not just for Trump, but for all potential victims of gun violence, is to ban assault weapons, to ban the AR-14.
You must have got manure for your brains.
You've shit for brains.
So you saw that, you heard that. Eli Mastal and others on the radical left are using the 2 Trump assassination attempts to try to take away our constitutional rights. However, this young lady you're about to hear from in just 1 second totally flips the script and hits the nail on the head. Roll it.
Kind of interesting to know the person who doesn't want gun control keeps getting shot at.
No, honey, you got it wrong. The most interesting part is that the person who keeps getting shot at that you're referring to when people keep failing, right, is the fact that even though this has happened to him twice now, okay, he's still not willing to take away the constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens in this country. I know, yeah. Freedom, yes. That's what should tell you everything, because regardless of what has happened to him, he still knows that it's the right of every law-abiding citizen to be able to protect themselves and their family from whoever may do them harm, but also from a tyrannical government. It's kind of like that second part's the whole point. See, he's not putting his feelings and his personal experience over the rights of the people. Your side could really take notes from that. But also, why is it the side that wants more gun control keeps shooting at him? Make that make sense.
Oh my goodness! That's the most badass thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, so if Trump was the dictator that they claim he is, wouldn't one of his policy positions be to destroy the Second Amendment? Anyway, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip from MSNBC of General Stephen Anderson. Now, I don't know who this guy is, but this is North Korea level propaganda. What he says here is the biggest steaming pile of dog shit I've ever heard in my life. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time. Love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
But Kamala Harris would be just the opposite. Why? Because she's an inspiration. Not only is she positive, and does she bring hope and optimism, but as a black woman, the product of a mixed marriage, she will inspire millions of people throughout the world. Our credibility as a nation, that we would be able to allow, our country is so great that we're allowed a woman like that to become the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States. That is going to send a powerful message all over the world. People like Vladimir Putin are going to say, hey, wait a minute. These guys, they truly have a democratic country. They truly are representative. They truly are fighting for all their people. And Kamala Harris is a manifestation of that.
That was the biggest load of crap I've ever heard.
And you ain't black.